ourselves, because I am not seized of the facts. In fact, as I was talking to one of my unnamed colleagues here, I also got information that a few of our colleagues, because this thing has become very divisive,
You are off the mic, eh? Okay, your time is up. Senator Kipchumba Murkomen.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the year was 1642, on 4th of January, when King Charles entered the House of Commons, supported by 400 armed men, in an attempt to seize 5 members who were accused of treason. The Speaker who was presiding over the House of Commons was one Sir William Lenthal. And when Sir Charles, Mr. Speaker, asked Lenthal where the 5 members were, this was his response. The Speaker responded, "I have neither eyes to see nor tongue to speak in this place, but as this House is pleased to direct me." And Mr. Speaker, history records that Speaker Lenthal became the first Speaker in England to declare his allegiance, Mr. Speaker, to the liberty of Parliament instead of the King. Mr. Speaker, Parliament is at crossroads. It has nothing to do with the money. It has absolutely nothing to do with division of or county allocation of revenue formula. Mr. Speaker, the motion moved by Senator Cherargei is bigger and larger, Mr. Speaker, than basis for allocation of revenue. I must, Mr. Speaker, say on the floor of this House, I am the first person to defend the right of my brother and my friend, Senator Cherargei, to prosecute, Mr. Speaker, his agenda opposite the one I prosecute in this House. He has a right and constitutional right. The same to Senator Susan Kihika. The same to Senator James Orengo. But this morning, Mr. Speaker, that is not what we are facing as a Senate. We are facing an assault on the constitutional order of this republic. Mr. Speaker, the integrity and the independence of Parliament is, Mr. Speaker, on trial. Mr. Speaker, it is your choice this morning whether, Mr. Speaker, you are going to be subservient, Mr. Speaker, to the authorities that want to undermine the powers and, Mr. Speaker, the constitutional authority of this House, or you will be like Speaker William Lenthal, Mr. Speaker, rule, Mr. Speaker, that this integrity of this House must be protected. Let me confess something, Mr. Speaker, which I have always confessed to Senator James Orengo. And he knows and he can go on record. Some of us came to study law and admire politics because of people like Senator James Orengo. And I've told Senator James Orengo over and over again, Mr. Speaker, I have no doubt in my mind that if Senator Orengo is told to choose between a forced process, Mr. Speaker, that puts our friends in danger, and, Mr. Speaker, the question of protecting the integrity of this House, the choice is obvious. And that choice is in this motion. Because, Mr. Speaker, I didn't sleep last night. Myself and Senator Cheruiyot, plus other members of National Assembly, camped outside the house of Senator Langat. Mr. Speaker, media reports are there. Senator Langat his house is being surrounded by over 20 police officers. At 3 in the morning, Senator Malala called me, and I updated immediately on my Twitter. Mr. Speaker, Senator Malala's house, Mr. Speaker, is being surrounded by 4 DCI vehicles and over 20 police officers. Senator Lelegwe, on his way to these chambers of this House, was arrested, Mr. Speaker, on Riverside. I am shocked. I am shocked that Senator George Achila Yako, Mr. Speaker, would even contemplate to say he has no facts when those are three close senators, one of them deputy minority leader in this house. Can he call, Mr. Speaker, and confirm if these facts are on this, Mr. Speaker, true?
Okay, Senator Achila Yako, what's your intervention? There's a point of order.
Now, Mr. Speaker, you have heard my friend Senator Murkomen mention my name. Now, Mr. Speaker,
take your seat, Senator.
Mr. Speaker, the facts of a person's arrest must be in police records, must be in OB. Is it in order for him? Because I came here, yeah.
Order.
Mr. Speaker, can I be heard?
Order,
Can
senators.
I be heard?
You may not agree with what he's saying, but give you an opportunity to say what he's saying.
I did not mean to interrupt Senator Murkomen, but the fact that he mentioned my name, I left my house and came here. And Mr. Speaker, I have no information, I have no OB information, and I know that there could be truth and there could be untruth. Is it in order for Senator Murkomen to blame me for not knowing when I have no facts? I'm a person of facts and facts alone, like Josiah Bonda by
Senator.
Mr. Speaker, two things. One, I'd like to ask my friend Senator Achila Yako to go look for a mirror behind your seat, Mr. Speaker, at the bathroom, and see himself if he's still that Sonu crusader for liberty, Mr. Speaker, that he spoke about. Number two, Mr. Speaker, we are honorable senators in this house. We don't lie. We can move a motion on basis of lies. We cannot mislead this house. These facts were brought before the Speaker. These facts are known, they are incontrovertible. Mr. Speaker, let us not belittle this debate. Let us contextualize this debate for what it is. It is about an assault on, Mr. Speaker, parliamentary democracy, Mr. Speaker, and, Mr. Speaker, about the freedoms of this house. Let me concentrate on, Mr. Speaker, concluding by saying this. This Senate this morning is not being asked to adjourn so that you can assist this side or the other on the question on the basis of allocation of revenue. In fact, Mr. Speaker, I have refused, as a matter of fact, to go or prosecute my position on the question of voting for resources, because my position is not superior to those who are on the other side. It's a question of when you vote, the other side, which has the numbers, can pass. But, Mr. Speaker, to arrest 3 senators, to make it impossible for them to come and make their decision, to subvert the, Mr. Speaker, sovereign right of the people of Kenya under Article 1 of the Constitution, that was donated to Senator Malala, Senator Langat, Senator Lelekwe, to come and exercise on the floor of this house. And for any colleague in this house to support that process, Mr. Speaker, it will be a pity. It will be, Mr. Speaker, the worst day in the Republic of Kenya. I call upon my colleagues, Mr. Speaker, to look at themselves and look at the situation we are going through this morning. Senator Orengo told me on the floor of this house, with Senator Sang and Senator Aaron Cheriot, we were sitting here, said, Mr. Speaker, that revolution hits its own children. That, Mr. Speaker, this house, that, Mr. Speaker, this government was going to be worse to us than, Mr. Speaker, them that were in the opposition then. Mr. Speaker, Senator Orengo now sits in a more privileged position than me. He has, Mr. Speaker, the ear of the president and the government. Mr. Speaker, I want to look at Senator Orengo on the face. Mr. Speaker, it has devoured me, Mr. Orengo. Now it will come for you.
Okay.
To apply, it's the time for Senator Orengo. To, Mr. Speaker, remember, I'm concluding, Mr. Speaker, to remember his words to me, that yes, that revolution devoured me. Yes, it drew me to the backbench. Yes, Mr. Speaker, our rights have been violated. Okay. It is your turn, Senator Orengo, sitting in position of power, to say no to the subversion of those rights, Mr. Speaker. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator James Orengo. Yeah, you have.
Now,
What's your point of order, Senator Ledama? Okay.
I have a lot of respect for my brother, Moses Kajwang. But we are joking. You know, this corona is real. So I want to just request, my dear good brother, okay, please, go look for a seat somewhere else.
Okay.
Corona.
Senator Kajwang observes social distancing. Senator Nyamunga, what's your point of intervention?
Mr. Speaker, in my view, I think maybe I know it is your discretion, but it would be good for us, for you to give us time so that we make our points, and then you get the leaders to take a back seat a bit, so that we are also heard, Mr. Speaker, because whatever they say may influence what we have to say.
Okay. Is that okay with the leaders? Okay, because I can see they have also, they want to speak. Okay. Okay. Senator Mohamud.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand to support this motion. Mr. Speaker, this is the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. A few days ago, I tweeted that this Senate is under siege. I also tweeted that we are actually at crossroads. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to challenge the leadership, both my good friend, the Senator for West Pokot, Senator Bugusho, and Senator Orengo of Kisiaya, to take leadership in this House and fight for the right of this House. So, Speaker, sir, as the Speaker of this Senate, you are today in a very, very serious position. This House is on trial. And you, as the mediator and a bit of this House, has a role to play. So, Speaker, sir, we cannot allow the democracy that this country has fought for to be clawed back. Kenyans fought for a constitution, a very liberal constitution with a very, very liberal Bill of Rights, and now it's being clawed back. We cannot turn Kenya into a police state. It's very unfortunate. So, Speaker, sir, last night, in fact, I was following what's happening at the Langat's house. A lot of my colleagues and a lot of my constituents live there. In fact, the whole estate was awake last night. It was very shameful. The police were there as if they are arresting an Al-Shabaab guy. Dr. Langat is a senator, a distinguished senator of Kenya from Bomet. He cannot be, see in that manner. So, Speaker, sir, Senator Malala tweeted last night that his house has been condoned by police. It's very unfortunate. This morning, Senator Legwe, we talked to him and he said he was on his way to Senate and he was arrested. All this is being done because of the agenda that is before the House this time. This is intimidation. We are here to do our job at the Senate. The Senate of the Republic of Kenya is the only institution mandated to discuss division of, discuss shareable revenue between counties.
Let's consult in low tones.
Article 217(1). We are the ones who are mandated. No outsider, whatever position he has, can dictate. So, Speaker, sir, this House is being now used so that we can be intimidated, so that we don't go the wrong way. I assure you, there's no other person outside this Senate who has the mandate to discuss that matter. But what's being done now is to deny numbers. This will not work, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, it will not work. And this Senate should not succumb to the machinations of a state which is going to use police to actually intimidate its parliament. Parliament is an equal organ of government as the executive. We cannot allow to be intimidated. So, Speaker, sir, I want to support the motion that unless our colleagues are produced in this House and the RG be brought here in the Committee of the Whole House, this Senate should not debate even the issue of revenue collection, revenue allocation. We don't want revenue for anything. We don't want it. We want freedom.
Order, senators.
Freedom.
Let's consult in low tones.
Freedom is what we want.
Order, Senator Kangata.
So that, the three arms of government function independently. The executive has a job to do. Parliament must do its job. Judiciary be allowed to do. And this, if we continue this way, Mr. Speaker, sir, we are going to back. In fact, we are feeling with nostalgia for the Moi era. We used to say Moi was the dictator. He is not. We are having problems here now. We expect this government to come to its senses so that, this is what's happening. The police should stop intimidating senators. And I urge my colleagues, this is not a matter of this side or that side. It's a matter for all of us. Let's protect ourselves, protect our dignity, and protect the dignity of the Senate. Mr. Speaker, sir, with those many remarks, I beg to support.
Senator Mogeni from the other chamber.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I first want to go on record as supporting this motion for adjournment. And Mr. Speaker, this is a very sad day in the history of this Senate, Mr. Speaker. It's not by coincidence, Mr. Speaker, that we have woken up to a day when 3 of our colleagues are being arrested on a day that we were meant to have a very important debate. And I want Senator Uchilo to listen to me, because I've heard him raising doubts as to whether some senators have been arrested. Mr. Speaker, yesterday I received a distress call from Senator Lelegwe, and he informed me that CID officers had been sent from Samburu to arrest him. And Mr. Speaker, I spoke to the lead CID officer, Mr. Ongeri, who I know well from Keumbu. And we agreed, Mr. Speaker, that I was going to present Senator Lelegwe at CID headquarters today at noon, Mr. Speaker. But what shocked me, Mr. Speaker, and I want you to listen, my colleague, Senator Uchilo, I know you may have ambitions, you may want to be a governor tomorrow, you may even have dreams that you'll be an attorney general in this country, you may even have ambitions that you'll be a minister one day. But if you let what's happening to your colleagues today pass, your day will also come. Record this day here. I was not in this house when my colleague, Senator Orengo, was speaking to Senator Murkomen and Senator Sang. And I remember him calling Senator Mugo, Nyaugenya, revolutions eat their own children. It has come to pass. Today, it is Murkomen and the Hilk who are on the receiving end. My brother, whether you'll be a governor, whether you'll be an attorney general, whether you'll be a minister, the way this government is behaving today, it will come after you. I want you to seize this opportunity and be on the right side of history. We were students with you at the University of Nairobi. You were a student leader ahead of me. I took the seat of student leadership from you, and you know what we stood for when we were students at the University of Nairobi. And I want, Mr. Speaker, to state that I have spoken with my colleague, Senator Lelegwe, who has informed me that he has been sandwiched by police officers. They have blindfolded him. He cannot even tell me where he's being taken to. As we sit here to debate, this is not usual. These are very unusual times, Mr. Speaker. And I want us to adjourn here, and I'm appealing to all lawyers in this house. We must go and search for our colleagues and demand that they be brought to this house, Mr. Speaker. And I want to state, Mr. Speaker, I will not fear a government that takes bodies. I only fear God who can take my soul. I'm here to state that I will fight for justice, I will fight for the rule of law, I will fight to defend the Constitution of this Republic of Kenya. As son of Gekara Omogeni and Milka Nyamukami, son of Nyamira, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, they are great people. They are great sons of Nyamira who have been ahead of me. George Anyona used to be in this house, in this parliament, and I fought for justice, Mr. Speaker. I hail from the clan where Mr. Obuocha came from. One time in 1992, he spoke before the president, and he told the president that he only respects the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. And I'm here to state, Mr. Speaker, whether the government wants it or not, I've been sent by the people of Nyamira to come here and defend my duty under Article 217 of the Constitution. If I'm alive, my soul, my blood, all my organs will fight to defend the Constitution of Kenya. And I'm telling you,
I'm a senior counsel in this house, Mr. Speaker. I'll go to all courts, whether they take Lelewe to Mandera, whether they take him to Samburu, whether they take him to Lord, wherever he will be taken, I will be there as his advocate, Mr. Speaker. And we want justice, Mr. Speaker. What is this, Mr. Speaker? We are talking on a day when this government is telling us that over 43 billion shillings have been stolen from COVID money. And police officers are in the houses of senators just to subvert their constitutional right of coming here to do what they were elected to do. Mr. Speaker, Senator Orengo knows. Senator Orengo knows. When the police officers went for the Chief Justice of this republic, I called my colleague Senator Orengo to appear with me at CID offices on Kiambu Road, not for any cause, but to defend the cause of justice and the rule of law. I want to affirm
Oh, okay. Okay, Senator Mogeni. Senator, okay, your time is up. Your time is up, Senator. Senator Kangata.
Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to support the motion of adjournment. Mr. Speaker, sir, I agree that every parliamentarian is entitled to his freedom of choice. Mr. Speaker, sir, the only issue, Mr. Speaker, sir, personally, I strongly believe the government cannot arrest any member of parliament, any senator, on the basis of his work as a parliamentarian. Mr. Speaker, sir, and therefore, I would be urging our colleagues, once we break, we take time to discuss this issue objectively, kindly, so that we settle this issue once and for all, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I say that for this reason. I support the adjournment 100%. Mr. Speaker, I have seen a situation where that which made us to take certain position, we have now gone the very direct opposite. Those who do not want resources to be taken away from them, they are now taking the position they want resources to be taken away from them. Those originally were on the opposite side have now shifted the other side. We are no longer debating county revenue sharing formula at all. We are now in the realm of politics. Mr. Speaker, sir, the reason why I'm supporting this adjournment is, number one, it is true, we need to think about our colleagues. I support that. Number two, I also urge our colleagues, that interim period, please, we become sober. We ask ourselves, how come we have now changed position? How come we are no longer looking at issues objectively? We are now looking things from a political point of view. Please, honorable senators, once we take this break, which I support, please let us be objective. Let us remember our first principles. Thank you.
Order. Senator Susan Kihika. No lady, a lady, at least a lady.
Thank you, Mr.
Order, senators.
Maybe I'll remove my nini. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support this motion and believe, Mr. Speaker, sir, that there is better ways to achieve whatever end is intended to be achieved. But I cannot and shall not be able to support if really it is true. Because again, Mr. Speaker, we need you maybe when we adjourn to have you come back and inform this House the status or the whereabouts of our colleagues. But injustice anywhere, Mr. Speaker, is a threat to justice everywhere. Mr. Speaker, like Martin Luther King Jr. said when he sent a letter from the Birmingham jail, that we are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. And whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I believe that it is important that our colleagues' whereabouts is established, so that if really they have been forcefully taken away, then that is problematic, as we cannot vote under threats or intimidation. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, it is important that the House adjourns so that we get that solid information and then be able to proceed from there. So I support the motion to adjourn.
Okay, order, senators. I want to, order. I want to seek your intelligence, because I can see the interests are so many. So and we generally seem to be saying more or less the same thing. So I want to call the two leaders to say something, and then after that, we order members, so that then we are able to order members, so that we are able to take a vote, and then we have to follow the procedure. Those who have been accusing me. Okay. Order. Okay, I'll give you 3 minutes each. Okay, Senator Kindiki. Senator Linturi. 3 minutes. Please time. Huh?
I rise to support this motion, but I want to take my time in emphasizing the role and the independence of Parliament. Mr. Speaker, when people turned out to vote for us in the last general election, what essentially that meant is that they ceded the authority and power to us to exercise it on their behalf. And where we are unable to, then the people can exercise that authority by themselves. Mr. Speaker, when you
look... Senator Kangata, honestly, this is not a market.
Mr. Speaker,
please.
When you look at the manner in which our constitution is arranged, Parliament comes before the national executive and before the judiciary. Because, Mr. Speaker, my understanding is that what we speak here, what we talk about here, are matters that concern our people and that affect our people directly. And because we have that authority, then we must be in a position to tell and to speak on behalf of the people. The duty of this authority of Parliament in exercising that power on behalf of the people, Mr. Speaker, and what Honorable Lelengwe, Malala, and the others are supposed to come to here to do, Mr. Speaker, is to make a decision on behalf of their people. When, Mr. Speaker, they are arrested on their way to Parliament, is telling Kenyans as the people, you people have no authority, you people have no voice. So, Mr. Speaker, the government that is listening to us today, let them know there are no situations that are permanent, Mr. Speaker. Let them know that you cannot subvert justice. Let them know the position that they want are supposed to be exercised for the good of the people of this republic. And, Mr. Speaker, it's not an opportunity for them to harass the people that they are supposed to be defending. Mr. Speaker, let me say this. There will come a time when those people that are doing what they are doing today will be the opposite side, and they will be told, one time remember, whatever you do, just like there's a saying in Wameru, that when you are digging pits, Mr. Speaker, dig small ones and the long ones, because you never know which ones that you'll fall in. So even as the police you are trying to exercise or abuse authority given to you, kindly know you are working against the will of your brothers and sisters, and Parliament must be left to make decisions for this country and on behalf of the people of Kenya. And it is painful to have a government that doesn't see or doesn't have the feeling of the people.
Okay, your time is up. Senator Kajwang from the other chamber.
Mr. Speaker,
I rise to support this adjournment motion. Mr. Speaker, the safety, security, and welfare of a senator is not negotiable. Mr. Speaker, this House has been told that there are 3 senators who could be in trouble with the law or who could have been detained for various reasons. Mr. Speaker, the more we sit here and debate and make long speeches, if indeed it is true that their safety, their security, and their freedom is at stake, the more we stay here to debate, the more their security and freedom and health and safety will be at stake. Mr. Speaker, this is not a subject that should invite long speeches. This should not be a subject that should form a contest between Team Kenya and Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, this is not something that we are supposed to spend the whole day discussing. I want to beg, Mr. Speaker, that we bring this matter to a close and allow you, Mr. Speaker, as the guarantor of the security and freedom and privileges of this House, to go and establish the whereabouts and safety of our members. And we come back, say, at 2:30, and you tell us whether the members are safe, and if they are safe, we continue with the business. Mr. Speaker, we understand that these are unprecedented times. We are on a special sitting with a prescribed agenda, and we are required to confine ourselves to that agenda. Mr. Speaker, if the safety and welfare of any senator is threatened, then we can depart from the standing orders. Then we can allow ourselves some little time to allow you, Mr. Speaker, to guarantee the safety and security of those members. However, Mr. Speaker, I want to beg that this matter that has kept Kenyans glued to the Senate for the last 8 or 9 sessions, today is a day that we must conclude it. Today is a day that we must account for all the senators and conclude this matter. Mr. Speaker, I cannot assume that any senator who's not here is not here because they've been detained. There are senators who might be absent by choice. But by 2:30, let us confirm that the senators who are absent by choice, or they are absent because they've been detained, so that we can agree on how to resolve this matter. Mr. Speaker, I support.
Senator Ross Nyamunga.
Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Mr. Speaker, mine is very, very simple. And I would like this House to know that as this side of the divide, and as members of this nation and leaders of this country, we have been steady in our stand. The way we were then, we are to this day. The way we've been resilient then, we are still resilient today. The way we have been Democrats then, we are still Democrats today. And Mr. Speaker, I think it should be very clear to this House that incitement, drama, and colorlessness will never take this nation anywhere. We stood for the rights of Kenyans then, and we will stand for that right today. And we want to say it clearly, Mr. Speaker. We cannot sit here when we hear stories, and we don't want to rely on stories. Kindly adjourn this House. Let's find out the facts and come back to this House knowing the truth about all these things that we're hearing. Mr. Speaker, I think people have spoken, and we've seen colors. We've seen the way people behave in this House. We are not going to carry it beyond this. We need to go to the real cause why we should be here, and that is the revenue allocation. What we are treating ourselves to right now, those are other issues that we didn't even need to bring to this House. So, Mr. Speaker, kindly adjourn and let us find out facts about our colleagues, and let's move forward with the matters that are very important to this nation. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Ndwiga from the other house.
Mr. Speaker, I want to support this motion. And in supporting this motion, Mr. Speaker, when first I heard that members of this House have been arrested to bar them from coming to perform their duties, it made me very sad, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, those of us who remember the long days, the days before we changed this constitution, Mr. Speaker, there were times, and I was telling some members, there were times when we had to ferry members of parliament in the car boots, in our boots, in the boots of our car, Mr. Speaker. And today you are asking me as a senator of the Republic of Kenya to come here and to debate normally when the house is being, when the integrity of this house is being injured. Mr. Speaker, that's not possible. We must not allow that. Mr. Speaker, I vote for government and everybody knows that, but what is happening today is so untidy. It's so dirty, Mr. Speaker. We cannot allow this to go on. Mr. Speaker, whatever we do here, first of all, we must defend the integrity of this house. All of us have been, have been elected or nominated to come to this house to do specific things, to defend the welfare and the just government of the people of this republic. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to urge to support the other members that let us adjourn. Let us adjourn. Let us find out where our members are. Let them be brought here to this house so that we see them as we debate. It does not matter, Mr. Speaker, decisions of debate in this house are made through the vote. And I said that last week. Whichever way the vote goes, let us respect that, Mr. Speaker. But if we have to persuade members to vote whichever way, let us do that through debates. Mr. Speaker, not through intimidation. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask you kindly adjourn these debates now, if need be, so that we do the necessary. And I thank you.
Senator Wambua. Give the plaque. Give him the mic.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I support this motion to adjourn this House to establish the whereabouts of our colleagues. Mr. Speaker, in adjourning this debate, I am making a very specific request to the Speaker. That, Mr. Speaker, you make an order, not a request, an order, to the Inspector General of Police to produce Senator Malala, Senator Lagat, and Senator Lelegwe here in this House today. The Speaker, I make that plea because, the Speaker, you are our leader. The three senators who have been held incommunicado are your senators, Mr. Speaker. The safety of the three senators, Mr. Speaker, is your business. Where I come from, Mr. Speaker, we say, when you beat a child, they cry looking at the face of the father. These children, Mr. Speaker, these senators are looking at you. Mr. Speaker, it cannot be by coincidence that the three senators who have been held incommunicado belong to a certain persuasion on the matter of the division of revenue among the 47 counties. It cannot, Mr. Speaker, be a coincidence. Mr. Speaker, what is happening today, and I will say it as it is an attempt, a very archaic attempt, to rig the vote before it is taken. Mr. Speaker, it has been said many times that revolutions eat their children. The situation that we are facing today, Mr. Speaker, is that we have a government that is not just eating its children, but a government that has not seen any child that it does not want to eat, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this must be stopped. You must say no, Mr. Speaker. You must give direction, Mr. Speaker, on the floor of this House. That today, Mr. Speaker, let us finish debate on the matter of the sharing of revenue among the 47 counties today. We take the vote. Whichever way it goes, Mr. Speaker, we will live with it. But this idea, Mr. Speaker, that some senators could be prevented from coming here to express their views, they have become prisoners of conscience. That's what they are. They have taken a decision on how they want to vote. The people they want to associate with, they must be given a chance, an opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to express that freedom, to enjoy that freedom. Mr. Speaker, with those remarks, I support.
Senator Mazayo.
Asante Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, mimi naunga mkono wa kuahirisha mjadala huu kwa sababu ya wale maseneta ambao wameshikwa na maaskari, na hivi sasa Bwana Spika, hawa maseneta hao wako ndani na hako maaskari ambao wanawaangalia. Bwana Spika, cha kwanza naweza kusema Bwana Spika, wewe uko na mamlaka kisheria ya kwamba unaweza kumwambia Ntiambai pale yako,
Let's consult in law terms.
Yule Inspector General ya kwamba alete wale maseneta watatu ndani ya hili bunge la Senate ili uweze kuwaona na macho yako na sisi pia tuweze kuwaona maseneta hao. Hivi sasa hatuwezi kujua hao maseneta wako wapi, lakini tuna imani ya kwamba Bwana Senator, maseneta hao wakati.
What's your point of order, Senator Bogisho? Order.
Speaker, it's not my intention to interrupt my good friend there. But can you observe, Mr. Speaker, that some people now are removing their masks to talk? And Mr. Speaker, we have said we speak with our masks on, Mr. Speaker. And so I just wanted to make that point.
Okay, Senator, put on your mask, please. Let's not remove our masks when we are talking.
Bwana Spika, mimi nataka kusema kwamba Bwana Spika, sisi tuko na historia kule pwani ya watu kupotea hapa. Kama vile Senator Mutula amesema, mzee Mutula Kilonzo alikuwa hapa na akapoteza maisha yake. Hatuwezi kujua alipoteza namna gani, na alikuwa mbunge, alikuwa senator. Vile vile kuna Ronald Gala alikufa kwa barabara, hatujui alikufa kwa sababu gani. Kuna Karisa Maitha alikufa pia, hatuwezi kujua alikufa kwa sababu gani. Hivi sasa maseneta watatu wameshikwa, hatuwezi kujua watapatikana Ngong ama watapatikana wapi. Tunataka kuona ya kwamba wewe umesimama kidete, umeweza kumwambia Ntiambai ama kumwambia mtu yoyote ambao anashika hao maseneta awalete hapa na uwaone. Sisi sote tukiwa hapa Bwana Spika, tuko chini yako na tunakuangalia wewe kama ngao yetu. Ni lazima uweze kuteta na sauti yako isikike. Saa hizi mimi niko na Attorney General Emeritus hapa, aliyestaafu, mkuu wa sheria katika Jamhuri yetu ya Kenya kwa miaka 20, na hakutakuwa na mwingine ambaye ataserve katika miaka 20 kuliko Amos Wako. Amos Wako tulikuwa naye katika lile bunge lilokwisha, na aliweza kusema, ameweza kuniambia hapa ni kweli kabisa kwamba Ekwe Thuro alisimama kidete na akasema haitaruhusiwa seneta yote kutishwa na askari wakiwa.
Your time is up. Order, senators. Order. Like I did say, there's a lot of interest and we really need to make progress so that we are able to get a way forward. So I seek your intelligence that I call the leader of majority and minority, then we take a vote. Senator Orengo. Order, 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 order. We have to make progress. Senator Orengo.
This my mouthpiece will be cleaned. I've seen the
order, senators.
Mr. Speaker, I want to begin by saying this. In the year, or rather on the 1st of January, this year 1642, in England, King Charles I entered Parliament and demanded, the king entered Parliament with armed soldiers and demanded from the Speaker that 5 members of Parliament should be handed over to the king. And this was in company of 80 armed men. And Mr. Speaker, the Speaker reacted by saying, I have neither eyes to see nor a tongue to speak.
Let's consult in law tones. Order, senators. Let's listen to Senator Orengo.
What I'm saying is really critical.
Order, senators. Whip.
Yeah.
Orders, please.
Senator Kangata, you know, really. Yeah, Mr. Speaker, what I'm saying is really important. And you have had a lot of people have cited my name here. And again, today, I want to say I want to speak from my heart. The last time I spoke from my heart, I think some of my views were not taken into consideration. And I want to plead again that I want to speak from the heart. And I want to begin by talking about an incident. This is about the authority and integrity of Parliament. And I was saying in the year 1642, January, 1st of January, the King of England, King Charles I, did not just arrest members of Parliament. He entered Parliament, the floor of Parliament. He went through the door of Parliament and demanded of the Speaker to surrender 5 members of Parliament. And the Speaker, and that speaks to your position today. The Speaker said he has neither eyes to see nor a tongue to speak. And the men that you demand, because there were 5 members of Parliament, they were all men at that time, I do not see them because I have no eyes to see. So, because of the action of that particular Speaker in England in the year 1642, the question of privilege in Parliament became a tradition. In fact, as the King left Parliament, members of Parliament were shouting, privilege, privilege. And I've had members of Parliament referring to the question of privilege. And this is an important concept. And I just want us to think for a moment. Because here, even in this House, Senator Outa, the senator for Kisumu, was arrested in Kisumu and charged with an offense which went on for 3 years on account of the matter which was before this House. And the matter, nobody really talked about it. He continued to go to court, and we didn't stand by him. Senator Cherigai, the member for Nandi, senator for Nandi, was arrested in circumstances which I am convinced, in fact, I wanted to go to Nandi to appear for him. And it was not an arrest because he really had committed an offense. Because, you know, if there was an offense, he would have been prosecuted and acquitted or convicted. So I want us, please, that as a matter of record, let us stand with each other all the time. All the time. Because there are other times that some people are arrested, including Senator Ledama. He was arrested here and taken to the police station here within the precincts of Parliament. In fact, I wonder why there is a police station at the precincts of Parliament whose duty, most of the time, they are dealing with members of Parliament. Senator Mutula here, I think you remember how many times we have gone to that police station when members have been called to give statements at that police station. I think that police station should be relocated. Yeah, it should be relocated. Because the presence of a police station here is inconsistent with the duties and work of Parliament. There was a time when a division of the army was here, occupying the corridor going to the National Assembly. And Mr. Speaker, as I speak here, I'm one of the people who has been arrested from the precincts of Parliament. Not once. I've been arrested twice from the precincts of this Parliament. Indeed, when I was arrested, members of Parliament fought very hard to make sure that I was not taken to any police station. There are members of Parliament who are hidden within this Parliament. That's when I knew there are rooms within this Parliament that the police even don't know. We hid Honorable Nyanja, George Nyanja, within the precincts of this Parliament for about a week, and the police could not trace him when they were looking for him. Yes, if you can remember, Mungai, yes. And of course, you remember Martin Shikuku and Serone were taken from the belly of this House. They were not arrested, outside. They were arrested from this Parliament. So what is good for the goose is good for the gander, that today it is these 3 senators, but tomorrow is likely to be James Orengo. In fact, when I was saying revolution, it's their own people. I was not excluding myself. I know that time will come, and I know how to deal with it. Me, I've prepared myself. When I'm arrested, I know exactly what to do. When I go to a police station, I know what to do. When I go to a cell, I know what to do. There was a time I was taken to Kodiaga prison when we were arrested on for the Sabasaba. And when I was delivered at Kodiaga prison, within 2 hours, I was snoring already, and the prisoners were very offended that how can this man be sleeping? They took me out. Yeah? And it was good for me then. I was having some little sunshine. So, Mr. Speaker, what I would not agree with is that we have an open-ended adjournment. That shows that we are powerless. We cannot have an open-ended adjournment. It's like we have no power, we have no authority. In fact, what Eturo did was that there was an adjournment until the police withdrew from the precincts of Parliament. And then we came back. I would plead with you, Mr. Speaker, sir, to use the authority of this House that in the next 1 hour, the CS, Cabinet Secretary Interior, the PS Interior, the IG, the Attorney General, and the DCI should appear before the Security Committee of this House in the next 1 hour. No. You know, that is now exercising authority. We cannot just be lamenting. And Mr. Speaker, then the Security Committee should report to us at 2:30. And of course, if there is no report to give because somebody has not turned up, then we know what to do. So, Mr. Speaker, and in saying that, I want to plead with the members of the Senate that as we deal with this problem, there was the special agenda for this special sitting. I think now that this is happening, we should go back into our conscience. As men and women who have been, we are very lucky, just 47 elected, and together with the special elected, we are 67, exercising sovereign authority of the people of Kenya about sharing resources. I think in this interlude, let us talk and reason together and come up with a solution. And it must be, you know, a win-win means somebody wins, somebody loses. Or give and take. Somebody must give and somebody takes. And as you take, you must also give. So that we resolve the elephant in the room. But as to the question of the people being arrested, Mr. Speaker, if you are in a court of law, probably you would say, I'll give a ruling tomorrow. Please don't give a ruling tomorrow. No. You should give that ruling now. If it was a court, it will give the police probably 14 days for a mention of somebody to appear. But we are asking you that within the next hour, that committee should be sitting. Senator Haji is here. Please convene right now as we walk out. And then those deliberations will be reported to us. And some of us who are interested in this matter will come to the committee as friends of the committee to get to the bottom of this matter. Mr. Speaker, with that request, I support the motion. Thank you.
Senator Ledam, I'm told you have some special interest you want to express. Keep it brief, then we go to the leader.
Mr. Speaker, sir, just in 3 minutes. In 1977, I believe it was August 18th, Steve Biko was arrested when he was leaving a political rally. And he said some very powerful words. He said, I'm going to be me as I am, and you can beat me or jail me or even kill me, but I'm not going to be what you want me to be. Mr. Speaker, sir, those are very powerful words. And they remind me today of a young man, Senator Lelekwe, of a young man, Senator Malala, and my dear neighbor, who is currently in the police custody. In fact, as we sit here, Senator Langat has already surrendered himself to the police. A person who is elected to represent the interests of their people. And when it comes to something so emotive, instead of allowing wisdom or the power to convince, you are intimidated. Mr. Speaker, sir, it is very sad. We stand with our colleagues, and I want to appeal to the residents of Bomet, the residents of Samburu, and also the residents of Kakamega to stand with their leaders. Senator Orengo spoke here, and earlier on today, Mr. Speaker, sir, during those periods where I become very emotive, I tweeted, and I said something that I totally believe in it, that we are going back to the era of Moi. I was hoping that my colleague, Senator Gideon Moi, will be here so that I can tell him, my brother, you and I are young, let us not go back. Because what will happen is that we will look, people who have fought so hard, my dear brother, my dear, I call him my father.
What's your point of order, Senator Mwaura? There's a point of order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is the order of this House that when the leader of minority speaks, it's only the leader of majority who responds. Now, Mr. Speaker,
no.
You said, let me finish. Mr. Speaker,
take your seat, Senator Ledama. Take your seat.
Mr. Speaker, you said that there was something of special interest that Senator Ledama is supposed to converse of the floor of the House against the protocol, against the procedure. And from his prosecution, he is speaking like any other senator. Is he really not that to come in between the leader of minority and majority? Yet majority of us would have also wanted to contribute, but we respected your ruling, Mr. Speaker.
Order. That is my discretion as a speaker, and I've allowed him to speak. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to end by saying this. I tweeted and I said, because I want to put it in context. I have a lot of respect for my father, Senator Orengo, who has been a reformer. But if he stood today and supported what this government is doing, he will turn from being a reformer to an errand boy of a dictator. Mr. Speaker, sir, these are things which are very emotive and very personal. And I'll end with a quote from Steve Biko. Once again, he said, the most potent weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. Let us not sit here as honorable, distinguished members and see our colleagues suffer. Senator Lelekwe is a brother. Senator Langat is a brother. Senator Malala is a brother. And it doesn't matter whether we agree. We normally disagree here. But today, if I do not stand here and defend them, I will not have a face when I go back to my county. So, Mr. Speaker, sir.
What's your point of information, Senator Murkomen? You can speak from there.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to inform Senator Olekina that Senator Langat has just been arrested in his house in Embakasi, Nyayo Estate, in the presence of his lawyer, Nelson Harvey, who is also the president of the Law Society of Kenya, and is being brought to Nairobi area police station, so that also in this interlude period, some of us can be able to visit Senator Langat as we also wait for Senator Malala, who may be brought, and Senator Lelekwe is being taken to, Mr. Speaker, to Samburu. We only hope that he will not be blindfolded and thrown into a forest. I just wanted to inform him. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, conclude, Senator.
Thank you, my brother, for informing me that. So, Speaker, I appreciate you giving me this opportunity. And Senator Pogisio, my leader, and Senator Orengo, this is a time for you to show leadership in this House. I beg you to look back and show leadership. Revenue formula aside.
Senator Omanga, then Leader of Majority. Gender.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Please protect me from the male members who are almost, they're making noise and I'm not able to. Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this motion by Senator Cherargei that we adjourn this House, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would say is a sad day for Kenya today. Mr. Speaker, this is not the spirit of the 2010 Constitution which Kenyans voted for. Mr. Speaker, this is not the spirit of my government, the Jubilee government, which I've voted for 4 times. Mr. Speaker, as a mother and a wife, I don't want to imagine what the wives and children of these 3 senators are going through. Mr. Speaker, these senators are relatively young. I can imagine they've got very young children. Having over 40 DCI officers brandishing guns outside your house at 2 a.m. What kind of trauma would these children go through, and the kind of stigma? While, Mr. Speaker, we have Jack Ma donations being stolen at JKIA and no one has been arrested up to date. While we have the court ruling on the Ruaraka land saga, and we've not seen anyone arrested, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would say we cannot breathe. Mr. Speaker, these fraudsters, they are now coming to Parliament. If they can treat senators and members of Parliament like that, then what happens to the raia, the wananchi, the normal Kenyans, the poor Kenyans with no voice back in the villages? Mr. Speaker, we should shun this. Mr. Speaker, today you have to come out strongly and stand with your members in this House. We cannot continue with business as usual until the 3 senators appear in this House. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Leader of Majority.
Speaker, I want to join my colleagues in supporting the adjournment. Speaker, I just want to ask colleagues, when you use the opportunity that you have, Mr. Speaker, you can canvass exactly what you want as members of Parliament, but use language which is acceptable in Parliament. Mr. Speaker, this morning we have really overused or we've really overused language which is not really parliamentary. A lot of words that have been used today. And I think you can convince all of us through civil language. This is about numbers. This is about numbers on the vote. Mr. Speaker, if members wanted to speak and talk and help these people, we would have actually shortened this process and would have gone to the rescue of our colleagues. But the decision to continue talking until the end of time, Mr. Speaker, is also kind of indicative that some of us just want to do politics, Mr. Speaker. And I said, Mr. Speaker, there's a time when we have to be actually sincere with ourselves. Nobody would want another member of Parliament suffering, another senator suffering. No one. And we will not support. And we will try everything to make sure that our members are not arrested anyhowly. And even, Mr. Speaker, as the leader, I would be very concerned about members who are arrested. And you and I can work on that. But I just think that the opportunities given for us to speak would be better used if we canvassed properly, if we agreed to just not insult, not to call your government all sorts of names, and yet we know that we are going to the same government to ask to work with. So I'm just asking the Speaker that as members, it's both sides of the House. This is basically what I want to leave the House with. As for the opportunity we have now to adjourn, within the few hours that are ahead of us as Speaker, we should be able then to get the details of what has happened to these three colleagues. We should be able to know what are their charges, and as a Speaker, where they are being held. I know we have heard about one now, and so on. The reason being that we need to know that it's not related to their work in Parliament. It must be, Mr. Speaker, clear that it's not because of this or that reason that would prevent them from coming to this House. And that's why we have lawyers, and colleagues who are lawyers can go and assist those whom they can assist, who can be assisted. And this House, Mr. Speaker.
What's your point of order, Senator Cheriot?
Mr. Speaker, I hate to interrupt Senator Pogisho because he's our leader in this House, and therefore every time he speaks, it is expected of us to listen to him. But you can only reciprocate that respect if it serves it in the same portion to colleague senators. I find the remarks that he's making an insult to the intelligence of us as a Senate. Because, Mr. Speaker, when Senator Samson Cherargei spoke to seek this adjournment, he was very clear in his remarks that until our colleagues are produced and allowed to transact business in this House should adjourn. But you can see the cheeky nature of the remarks of the leader of majority, saying that all we need to do is just to find out if the arrest has nothing to do. Who in this country does not know that the reason these three senators are not here is because of how they are going to vote? Therefore, the leader of majority should respect our intelligence and do his duty dutifully. He should also remember, Mr. Speaker, that I was with Senator Langat.
We did agree that your point of order should be brief.
I was with Senator Langat until 5 in the morning. I do not want to reveal the things that the leader of majority was telling him, where he should go, what he should do. Out of respect as a brother, I cannot say it. Therefore, I find it very wrong for him to try and insinuate that we are just going on an exercise to find out how they are. That is not what we want to do. Until the three senators are here, no business goes on, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, leader of majority.
Mr. Speaker, I think, Mr. Speaker...
There's another point of order from Senator Kindiki. There's a point of order.
Let me respond to the other one.
Let him, you will respond to both of them at a go. Order, leader of majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Senator for Kericho has made a very serious allegation against the leader of majority. Will I be in order, Mr. Speaker, to request you to direct the Senator for Kericho to tell us what the majority leader said about the three senators who are now facing threats, arrests, and intimidation.
Let the leader of majority respond first.
Speaker, I want this to look like it is clearly a choreographed thing that Senator Cheruyot wants to talk about. He can reveal what he wants to reveal, whatever it is, because even I did not sleep engaging with Senator Langat at night, because I wanted him to be set free, to be free, Mr. Speaker, because he also talked to me. He looked for me. He looked for me, and the best way for him was to be safe. And so, Mr. Speaker, I will say this. Mr. Speaker, please let me finish my remarks.
Order, members. Order, members.
Mr. Speaker,
Order.
Mr. Speaker, we have agreed on this
Let the leader finish what he's saying. Order, then.
Mr. Speaker, we have agreed on this matter.
Order, members. We need to make progress. We need to get a way forward. So let him complete, then I give direction.
Mr. Speaker, we have all faced arrest. We have been arrested. I've been arrested. Everyone has been arrested, Mr. Speaker. As a member of parliament, with the privilege, we have been arrested. But Mr. Speaker, today I want to conclude this way. Mr. Speaker, let's not allow...
What is your point of order, Senator Mazayo?
Asante Bwana Spika, asante kwa heshima Bwana Spika. Ikiwa wewe kama Spika unaweza kutuheshimu na yule kiongozi walio wengi hawezi kutuheshimu, ni lazima endelee. Hii ni ukosefu wa heshima kwa kiongozi walio wengi. Bwana Spika, amesema maneno, ndugu yetu Cheriot amesema maneno ya kutisha hapa, ya kwamba ikiwa ndugu yetu Langat ametishwa, lazima aweze kusema, apewe nafasi aseme vile ambavyo ametishwa ama vile ambavyo ameambiwa. Bwana Spika, tunangoja uamuzi wako.
What's your point of order, Senator Murkomen?
Mr. Speaker, it's not only Senator Cheriot who, Mr. Speaker, is privy to the conversation of the majority leader with Senator Langat. I am also privy to that conversation. And I am in possession, Mr. Speaker, of documented evidence of his conversation with Senator Langat. The thing, Mr. Speaker, I want to say is that we are not discussing the majority leader now. What we are discussing is a situation that involves our three colleagues. We don't want, and I don't think Senator Cheriot was saying that so that we bring a motion to discuss the majority leader. What we are interested in is the majority leader to, Mr. Speaker, demonstrate leadership by demonstrating, Mr. Speaker, that he is pained at heart when the Senator of Bomet, Mr. Speaker, and Senator Malala and Senator Lelegwe, two of whom, of the three senators, Mr. Speaker, come from the majority side. Mr. Speaker, can the majority leader absorb, Mr. Speaker, demonstrate and reflect the image of a leader who feels the pain of his colleagues that are going through trouble, Mr. Speaker, and not to put his foot around this issue?
What's your point of order, Senator Wamatangi? Just a minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, you have made a decision, Mr. Speaker. You give a ruling, Mr. Speaker, and in allowing the majority leader to respond, you did so that what the motion sought first, which is to ensure that this House, with all the directions that have been given and the proposals, that we get to find out precisely what has happened to members of this House, Mr. Speaker. And that now is the mood of the House. That is what we must do within the next 1 hour as agreed, Mr. Speaker. Now, if Mr. Speaker, you allow that other matters be introduced, and all of us are clear in our minds, Mr. Speaker, parliamentary democracy is underpinned in the words of Voltaire, that I may not agree with what you say, but I will defend to death your right to say it.
What's your point of order?
That is clear to all of us, Mr. Speaker. If we do not allow the majority leader to finish what he's saying, and then we embark on what we have to do, as you directed, Mr. Speaker, then all of us who come up with other points of orders, we have other issues we can also raise. Mr. Speaker, I'm in possession of SMSs also to other people. What we are saying, let us not bring extraneous matters. Let's get the majority leader to close and
majority leader,
get to the
majority
point,
leader conclude.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now in relation to the so-called information that's privy, that people are privy to, Mr. Speaker, I have said it is good if all the information that we are all privy to can be put here at the table for everyone, because everybody has communicated and there is enough information for everyone to share. And Mr. Speaker, this idea of trying to intimidate other speakers, trying to use this kind of intimidation, what kind of mind would I be playing with Honorable Cheriot? What intelligence am I playing with, Mr. Speaker? I think we are all colleagues here. The qualification of being here is just to be elected and come here. So, Mr. Speaker, I would like to caution my young friend that getting overzealous. I don't think anybody would love the other senator more than all of us. We are concerned. We want the same concern to be overall here in this House, Mr. Speaker, so we go with one mind, we go to this recess all knowing that what we want is that our people, our members are not intimidated. There is, as I said, Mr. Speaker, the freedom to speak. But I also say, as I caution members, that we speak a language that can convince others. Not to harass anybody, don't look like more people have more rights than others in this House. And so, Mr. Speaker, we adjourn and we take time, we come back at 2:30 and continue with our duty. Mr. Speaker, we have a very, very important duty to do. The duty also of passing the formula. So we need to get this sorted out. As important that you have responsibility as Speaker, there's much that Speaker can do within your powers. There is much that I can do within my powers to make sure that we do not get people arrested and anyhowly, but also, Mr. Speaker, let's agree that we come back and proceed with our business. With those remarks, Speaker, I support. Thank you.
Okay, order, members. I have listened to all of you have raised very serious concerns about our colleagues who are not here. And I want to agree I'm a servant of this House. Being the whole House, I'm a servant of the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. And when one of us is mistreated or is in the circumstances that our colleagues find in, we must stand together as a team. Therefore, I'm directing the chair of the Security Committee to convene immediately after this and get all concerned parties to give us information on the whereabouts of the 3 senators and report back at 2:30 the progress of where our colleagues are. I now put the question, which is that the debate be now adjourned. As many are of that opinion, say aye. Aye. As many are of the contrary, you say nay. The ayes have it.
A constitution is never static, it's dynamic. The people of Kenya agreed in 2010 that the constitution has 20% of things that need to be corrected. Correct. When Kibaki and Raila Amolo Odinga worked their way at midnight of that day in 2010 to pass this constitution, they knew there were faults and fault lines. Time has come that the fault lines within the constitutional framework of the Republic of Kenya are redefined, remolded, expanded, whatever word you want, remove some, added some, what you want to make for the present situation and the generation. It is a pity that at this moment, the entire BBI process has turned itself into a reparational process which could derail the main reason as to why BBI was put in there in the first place. How do you determine what can come for a school when another school within the location has no desks, but is within the same location? Do you put more desks in this school, or do you give that school without desks more money and give this school more textbooks? for any person who has done economics, planning, will agree that you don't plan based on hyper politics. You plan based on data. And what is data? What is it that you call data? Data is the number of people who died, the number of people who are born, the number of people who are unemployed, the number of people of census in that particular place, the number of people who smoke, the number of people who have diabetes, the number of people who have TB, malaria, sleeping sickness. What disease can I name and live? Planners plan with that. What is that called? That subject is called demographics. The use of demographics to determine the amount of developmental money. Now I'm coming to the professor. Let me teach here. The professor offers, I teach. The developmental cash that you talk about comes as a result of the birth, death, TB, corona. Mix all this. Plus, how far are you near the road? How far near the airport? How will you transport your goods? What are your needs? That's why you cannot buy fish and import fish to Kisumu. Look at that. So the revenue allocation of Kenya should depend on those factors. What is the factor that can make you distribute this money equally? There are more children in Kakamega who will go without school, closed desks, than there are people in some regions in Kenya where people don't even go to school. Now, when you are giving out the money, I agree with the professor that there were mistakes made. How do we correct this mistake now? How do the senators correct this mistake? They correct this mistake for stabilizing and coming out that there are more people in Kakamega than there are. And let's face facts. Are you going to run away from it? Are you going to run away from it? The population of Isiolo is not the same as the population of Kakamega. Let's talk the truth. Umesikia? Why do you put more chaos for Madago to explain why there is more money to do certain things? Then you have another governor somewhere saying, I have even returned the money unused.
It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is. It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, he is our son and he is our thief.
If you are deviant and I call you leader, probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
Yes. We want to see the role of the youth in the security, governance, and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers, do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people, lives in Africa. The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, Doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
In many parts of Africa, there is always a struggle for power. Struggles for power begin from the struggles for internal democratization of our parties or units where we belong when we come to power. The politics of compensational structure, the politics of deficit, the beginning from a deficit, that I had a deficit. I had a deficit before I was born, or when I was born. I found myself in a poor family. It's the politics of compensation that haunts Africa today. Many people want to take on leadership, but it's the leadership as a basis of where you came from, or the leadership has qualities.
My father bought me my first shoe in 1981 from a Mr. Onyango on the street for 60 shillings because he could not afford the butter shoes. Why am I saying this? Today, as you can see, the gentleman who did not have shoes is sitting at the high table. With the son of the founding father.
Sasa kama nitaambiwa naongea siasa, lakini I'm not, I promise. I have no such intention. But, you know, when you hear people out there, you know, they talk, oh, huyu mtu fulani, dynasty hii, sijui dynasty hii. It's not about that. Leadership is not about where you were born. It's not about where you came from. It's not about the color of your skin. It is not about your tribe. It is just about a desire to serve, a desire to do good, a desire to make a difference in the lives of people. And anybody can do that.
For a leader to be a leader, he must have qualities. Identify himself with qualities of good behavior, qualities of no corruption, qualities of no hatred, qualities of engagement, discussion with others, collective responsibility, listening to the people. These are the qualities. A leader who delivers does not need to have a background. A leader who delivers can deliver without a background of the rich or the poor. Many people in Africa seem to be misinterpreting that once you are born, you directed God to produce you in a particular family. None of us would have been where we are had we actually had a message from God where we would be born. I therefore look at this as compensational politics. Meritocracy is the answer. Meritocracy gives you the position that you yearn for. Meritocracy delivers you a position. Meritocracy gives you what you are doing for the people of Kenya or Uganda or whatever country where you are in Africa. But if you don't have these qualities, even if you are born from a family that had the whole world as theirs, then you cannot be a leader. It is therefore very important that the leaders who yearn to become leaders in Africa stop the usage of compensational politics. The politics that you want to compensate on others simply because you were poor, simply because you didn't go to a good school, simply because you don't drink in the same place where they drink, simply because you don't eat in that restaurant, simply because you don't have cars. That politics has got syndromes, traits of people who are either corrupt or have hatred or have a problem on itself. I therefore call upon you people to re-examine as Africans that wherever you come from, the background you come from, you are an African. You can deliver something for your country. You don't need to be able, you don't need to come to compensate for the lost past, because with such attitude, you will grab everything and your country will collapse. Thank you very much for listening.
Good afternoon. Miriam, you take it on.
All right. Thank you so much. And hopefully you can get yourself a warm cup of water with some honey on it. It will do you some good. But thank you so much, our viewers, for staying with us. We had taken a small break where we took you to the Kenyan Senate, where today it was expected that Senate would continue to debate and also vote on the revenue sharing formula there. But apparently that did not happen because the senators agreed to adjourn the sessions this morning to enable find out the whereabouts of 3 of the senators that are said to be under, one of them under police custody and the rest too. It is said that the police are surrounding their homes as we speak right now. So the vote did not happen as it was expected in the morning. Doctor, what do you make of these new developments and what you've been watching through the Senate proceedings there?
First of all, I just want to take this opportunity to say every citizen of this country is entitled to the rule of law. Every citizen of this country is entitled to keep that rule of law, to submit to the rule of law at any time. Whether what you are submitting to is injustice or just the correct thing or injustice, you submit first to the rule of law. You first accept to go to the rule of law. You don't refuse. Even if the incident happened when you are in New York and your house is burning in Nairobi and they have come to arrest you in connection to that house, you don't say you are in Nairobi. You are not in Nairobi, because you don't know, Miriam, what you want to be told by the police as to who was burning the house, or guidelines that you need to follow before you are returned to Nairobi. Therefore, Miriam, it is very clear that when police knock on your door, whether you are innocent or you have committed a crime, you submit to go with them when you have verified they are the real police. Isn't it? That's a law-abiding citizen. That's what the Constitution says. That's why there is in the law, call your lawyer to be present. Let them tell your lawyer what is the charge? Why are you being arrested? That's why in any Commonwealth institution, if you are arrested, you are given one chance to call the police or to call your next of kin. There are actually 3 telephone calls. The doctor will be called by the state, but your lawyer and your next of kin, your wife, your husband, your daughter, your son, your nephew, your niece, your whatever, you will tell them, I don't worry, I am in this police station, arrested on charges of this and that. Full stop. One telephone call is given. So, if you put a video and start engaging the police who have come with what they want, they have been sent on instructions of a crime reported, you are violating the same Constitution. That's true. Tuambiane ukweli. Because in Kenya now, there is nobody who can kill you on the way. The killings went off long time ago. Sindio, tuelewane, tuambiane ukweli sasa. Nobody can kill a person in the Republic of Kenya today and walk free. Aiwa. No, you will be known. You have arrested Miriam, you took him by car. We want him produced in court. The time for production in court is 24 hours. You can't hold a person in Kenyan law for more than 24 hours, unless you have an extension from the magistrate or the high court. That's the law. So let's come down to analyze political statements versus legal statements. You have a problem that you are involved in corruption, of swindling, and I repeat, even more are going down now. In fact, let them go there. There are 7 senators who supplied hot air and got money. Nyanya wa Kenya muambiane ukweli. Wakuje, let them come to the police station. They will not go. They will not go back to that chamber. Ndio nataka ukweli. Tuambiane ukweli. Don't blame Uhuru. Every time Uhuru. What has Uhuru done? Uhuru ameamua kila mtu abebe msalaba yake. Hata brother yake sister nani, kama wameiba pesa ya umma, muna pretend to be senators. You use your situation on the committee as ad hoc committee on COVID-19. You supply hot air. Rubbish. Kwenda. Then you are going around saying, we are senator. What? Why do you supply hot air? What is the difference with you, with the person who got masks and sold them to Tanzania? You are the one. Senator Sakaja, Senator, can I read them for you? The police is looking for them. Let Murkomen present himself that he is a lawyer. Hawezi rudi wanamtafuta. Sindio, it was daytime, night time. Now aende huko. Saa hii, thanks God, we all adjourned and some of us went to find out the truth. Why? Malala, who pretends to be the shackles of Butere cows, is supplying hot air. He's one of the people who have eaten COVID money. Yes. Kwa nini mniambiane watu ukweli? Mnasema Kenyatta aliiba. Sasa Kenyatta alileta pesa. Yeye ndiye aliiba pesa hizo. He is one. There are 7 senators who supplied hot air and they got money. It's a crime. It's a very serious crime. So waende kwa police station, sio Omogin, someone, an activist, that one from Nyamira pretends to be a lawyer. Stupid, walk away, is that man of yours from Nyamira, when I supply hot air, how come they are the only people talking louder in the parliament? Sindio wapitie huko kwa CPS. Wapitie kwa CPS. We thank the NTV for bringing the facts yesterday. But NTV failed to name the people. So now the DCI went to NTV, give us the names. That guy last night did not sleep. Senior, that is what you want, a brief from here. They did not, he had to give the names of the so-called senators who picked the money. Who supply hot air. That is the brief I have. That is exactly the law. The law says abide the law by if it don't dismiss police. Just go and listen to what they say. In Kenya, they don't take you to Nyayo House. They now take you straight to a police, charge you, take you to court. Court will give you bail, you go home. So we should not only condemn police without also knowing that there are certain things that are happening. We should not also turn this into a political bonanza of Ruto. Ruto has given them instructions what to do. As Jolly Murkomen, don't allow this Lusaka to rule you. Murkomen is speaking because he was removed. He thought he was the only one closer to power. But then when he saw power removed from him, he has become useless. He's now below the knees of Pukisho. So he's damaging Pukisho every time. Because Pukisho is not a kid. He's not a type of man who wants to fight. But if Murkomen got a man like a Matanga in that seat, I would finish that guy through the brain. And if possible, physically. Tunapigana. You saw the two MPs, the two president and the deputy fighting.
Where else?
Yes, waligongana. When you are, this is going to happen also in Kenya. Mtu anakupigia kelele every day, piga. The president of Somaliland, alichapa huyu mjamaa. I am the one who made you the deputy. Unanipigia kelele, you undermine me every day. I call you one day in my house na kumwaga ngumi. without bodyguards na kupiga ngumi kabisa mpaka unarudi huku. You can't tell the public, you can't even tell your wife you were beaten. That's how Mugabe used to do to some people. And they have learned lessons. Today they are leaders.
William, do I say something?
Please. Yeah, you can. No, I've finished.
Professor,
Miriam.
the timing of this arrest, and I don't know, is it a bit off owing to what is happening now and the very important?
Before Professor comes in, Miriam, you have started. This is the same language, timing. Mama, there's no timing here.
That is what Kenyans are asking. I mean,
Miriam, there's no timing. Police can come to you by the law, Commonwealth law, anytime at night. There is nothing in the Constitution of Republic of Kenya that says police can only come during daytime.
Yes, and I'm not saying timing in terms of it's daytime or nighttime, but what Kenyans, and from the conversations we've been listening with those senators that have been debating on the floor of the Senate, they're saying the reason why they're being pursued is because of ABC. I don't know what you make of that, Professor.
Miriam, very unfortunate. And I will approach this discussion from two fronts. I may quarrel with you, and I will merely say that I will kill you, but I don't kill you. Someone else goes and then kills you. People will turn and say it's me who has killed you. But God will always stand from heaven and say that Jared is innocent. Many Kenyans have been arrested for the last 24 hours. Are they rest Kenyans? Have you seen anybody going there to defend them? But the only thing I will say, why were they not arrested on Saturday night or Friday night? So one can easily say, and that's a very flimsy excuse. I've seen some of the senators argue that it was because of this debate coming in the Senate, the revenue allocation formula. But they have committed a crime. You don't tell the police when to come to you. If you don't want to invite, why have police not come to me? I have not committed any crime. So let them just go to the police station, write a statement, go to court, get a bond, and then go back to go and debate. So those who live in glass house, Miriam, you don't throw stones. The government is also being led by human beings, not stones. You plan for them, you frustrate for them, they also frustrate you. Why is it when you frustrate the government, it is okay? When they want to frustrate you, you want Kenyans to come across? So what I want to say that, let us see, I don't have facts what they have done. Let them just write the statement, then them just come on. But any Kenyan who has committed a crime, who has arrested for having committed a crime, you don't tell the police when to come for you. Yeah. Well, I mean, there are 67 senators. If it is anything to do with the revenue allocation, why haven't they gone for the 64 of them? So there's an element of truth. You have committed a crime, and in fact, the way Dr. Masanga is saying, when the policeman comes to your house, Miriam, do you need to take a video and call everybody and call everyone? What will that amount to incitement? I've seen even Malala saying that he won't go. This is an authority which has come to you. You say, you have come check me, we can work. You write a statement and you work. In fact, look what happened to Sakaja. Before he kept on. When he presented himself, he accepted. He was given the bond. He was dead by the law. Is he not a free man? Let us all Kenyans will be treated equally. And let us remove politics from everything else. If there is a bright hot hair, they will be pursued. They will adjourn, and adjournment will not help you. And let me tell you, there is separation of power. And I look at these senators, how ignorant they are. What will happen when they will go to the police and they will present for them what they have done? What are the senators going to say? They will say they have committed this, they have committed this, they have committed this. So they will say, let them just go. They debate the family, the revenue allocation, and then they come back. They will be shocked. There is separation of powers from the three arms of the government. The police investigate. Police can come with you for no info for the police station. And I hope not those who are being looked at, when they are locked in, then they start crying. That's what Dr. Masanga is saying. If you know you have committed a crime, you are alleged to have committed a crime, don't appear before the police station. Because when you will be locked in, you will start talking about the government. There are those ones who are a little bit clean, they go to get the facts on how their friends have been arrested. That's what I have to say, Miriam.
All right, thank you so much. And Dr., while the senators there were presenting their case there, and a lot of point of orders were happening there in the Senate earlier this morning, before the adjournment, they said that unless their three colleagues are presented to Senate, unless they're present in the Senate floor, then no debate will continue. So where does this leave us as Kenyans who are really eagerly waiting for this vote to take place today?
It leaves us in a very awkward situation, Miriam. But here are the names. One, those who supplied KEMSA with hot air, and they are members of the Senate, are the following: Johnson Sakaja, Michael Maringa Mbito, Abushiriko Soka Halake, Mithika Ninturi, Eric Okongo Mongeni, Sylvia Mweni Kasanga, and Mwijihaji Mohamed Faki. They supplied KEMSA with hot air. Yeah, Kenya, you know what is killing you in Kenya? You speak with double tongue. Sema words like Masanga. Kwisha, kama wanataka kuniua, they have said. These guys, why Sakaja today could not speak? Because he's on the list. They use COVID-19.
Doctor, do you have the figures? The money that through the tenders. Could you be having the figures?
Yes, the companies there. There is evidence. This man, the witness, the guy of NTV yesterday, Walaya Mungu opened a lot of things for us. And some of us now, why we are wearing these things, for the information. So police has got the list. The one in Samburu, akona kesi huko Samburu. Is it Samburu? Yes, akona case. It has something to do with Rokorore. It has been pending. He has been dodging the CID. Leo wajua and the day you will be in town. Shika. Walimshika. Hawa wako na case when supply hot air using their contacts. You can imagine there is no Wetangula, there is nobody, all the elderly people. All the senators are not there. Mature men, these are the youngsters, masquerading as Team Kenya, yet they have supplied the hot air to KEMSA. So you tell me, now, I have never seen in the world where police, British police come to arrest you, and then you put a video. You'd say, video, come. Who are you? My friend. Yeah. The way they even use a parachute to get you from that floor. Utaenda ubaya sana. You think British police don't beat? They beat. Only they beat silently.
They beat smartly.
Kenyan police, African police beat openly. British police beat you silently. And they have all sizes of men. The big one, the smaller one, the big, double like Matanga. Bigger than Matanga twice. Wewe ndio analeta huyu anakukaia kifua halai ya Mungu. Kukaia kifua. And you are breathing, they know tactics, you will not die. Wanakaa tu kwa tumbo. Unasema hapana wacha tuende. Let me leave me, let me go.
And that video, Doctor, you're talking about, I watched it a few minutes before we started the earlier show there. Malala was in his house. I don't know who possibly was recording that video. Not the police. Who was recording it? Because
not the police.
Who was
it
recording
was his
it?
bodyguard.
Oh, okay. So they allowed him to record it. The police who were there.
No, he's talking to them from an apartment. Didn't you see?
I saw he was inside.
Upstairs.
Yes.
And the cars were downstairs. You cannot do that. All of us here subjected to law. Me, when the police knock the door, say let's go. First of all, what are your numbers? I'm police constable so and so from Giligili. I said, give me a few minutes. And I alert Professor that police have come, they are taking me. Usually Kenya police will tell you why they are taking you. British police don't tell you. In fact, British police tell you when you're at the counter. But when they are coming to your door, they don't tell you. That's why they give you a chance to pick a phone and call your wife that have been arrested for fraud. And prepare for a longer hold. I might be here for a long time. And don't get married to somebody else. Yeah.
Your wife can also tell you don't marry.
Because inside where you are going, you are not going to marry. It is a her. You know what pains people most is you to be inside. And some other man is rolling your wife. You know, it's very painful. People who steal money need to see that. And you know, they come to see you with your own Range Rover. You know, it's very, very painful. Miriam, very painful. You people, you have never seen life. Some of us have gone through so many things.
So,
for you to hear that your wife is having an affair with your enemy number one, and they are having a drink, you know, and yet you are in a situation you cannot manage. You are in exile, and the man who is hunting you is the one rolling your wife. Miriam, to the Chokambali. You're wrong. If it is not heaven, you can burst and die.
So while we were listening to, I happened to listen to a few of the arguments there by some senators, and particularly the nominated Senator Millicent Omanga there. She brought in the issue of this money now that is being investigated, that has been lost through KEMS, and we know the investigative authorities are on it. And she's saying, why is it that there are people who have done this and that, they have stolen, but they've not been arrested, and yet these senators, who now are being, the police want to arrest. So why are they not looking at that theft that is happening there instead of what the senators here, have done? So there's a lot of politics that came into play there, and you could see she was trying to drive a certain point home. She had a different agenda, even as they were debating on how to adjourn this matter. Of course, Professor, politics has taken over, this matter.
That young senator already comes from my place.
Oh, your people.
one of the things that the She doesn't think before she talks. What is the connection between all the issues they were saying and the adjournment? The fact that those ones store now, this one can still. There's a better way you can put an argument, Miriam. And in fact, that one, if those who are proposing an adjournment, they go and find out what has happened to their colleagues, fine. But that was uncalled for, and that was.
It will not change anything.
The version of what we call the version of tax.
Let me tell you, Professor has got a problem with
his reception there.
I've been taken for them. So they seem not to understand.
So that issue she was trying to bring in the middle of another issue was a bit misplaced.
She is always out of order. She is always, I don't know why they elected such a person to be taken to the Senate. Because of the pity of what? She lacks knowledge to debate. She debates like a village calico. Yes, a village calico okukazi gw'omukyalo. Omukazi w'ekisyalo. Babu kusubalo mabali omukazi w'ekisyalo. Wakenya kwa Kiswahili watasema ule bibi ya mtaa. Uzungumze sasa seneta, unazungumza sasa bibi ya mtaa. Mtaa kini huko. Even housemates are better speakers than some people like that. I don't know how they ended up in the Senate. She only speaks nicely when Ruto is around. Yeah. Hey! But when you talk about Uhuru Kenyatta, she speaks very badly. So from the legacy point of view, tunamulenga. You are Jew. It is not, even if today they go and see them, the debate has to finish today. And the police is not going to be forced to process something they cannot process for today. My friend, police has 24 hours to hold you. So they are wasting time. Wamalize debate leo. Ishi.
But what if Professor, what if they don't come back? Because they said when they cannot debate until their colleagues are in the Senate today.
If they don't come back, others who will be in the chamber, you think everybody is happy? The speaker has said 2:30 and they don't turn up. My friend, you don't turn up intentionally. You are causing a problem. Yes, 2:30 is coming. Sindio sangapi hapa? Tuko karibu. They will not be released by 2:30. Police has right to hold until tomorrow morning. Your motion is here.
So there was this person that was supposed to go move the motion of removing, I think, the Bungoma governor a few weeks ago, and the person was held in police custody, and the magistrate had to rule for the person to be left. So because whatever he was going to do there was very important. Can they get such a privilege, these senators?
Magistrate, which magistrate? The magistrate in Bungoma.
Last week, what is his name? The governor.
William, you have to appear before the court, and the court has to give the orders. Let me tell you, they were seeking the adjournment to know the whereabouts of their friends.
Of their colleagues, yes.
That's number one. They will be told is in custody, is in custody. Two, what are the reasons why they are in custody? They will say they have been involved of this crime and this crime. So what next? We are writing statement and preparing a charge sheet, and they will be tomorrow in court.
So at the end of the day, they have to go to the police, and so that they're able to follow the due process of the law. Yeah. Okay.
That's the procedure.
So what will happen today if they refuse? From what we learned, a lot of the ones who stood up and said we cannot continue with the debate. So what will happen?
The debate of the motion is going on.
Okay.
Yes.
We are not.
As long as there is a quorum, in the assembly, the debate is going to go on. They will, if they want to refuse, they can stay at the police. But in the chamber, the debate will go on.
But there's a specific number of but there's a specific number required to pass such an important motion.
Miriam, hear this. What if, even if you are a senator, you are going to appear before a police station, you will say, see this man, what he did. You think, what are you going to do? You don't go to parliament because someone has stolen. You don't go to parliament because someone has indulged himself in corruption or herself in corruption. As to Miriam, believe me or not, if these other tactics which will come on, the debate will go on.
All right, so this matter becomes complicated every single day. Now we have that to deal with, and I don't know. What do you expect from the afternoon session there?
Just come. Let me tell you, Miriam, the quorum will be formed, and the discussion goes on. You remember that chariot, that young man, adolescent senator, adolescent with bad manners, was writing on Twitter that he will steal the speaker's, what is that stick called?
Mess.
The mess. He was telling everybody on Twitter. Let Kenyans know about the behavior of these boys. These are juvenile boys who still behave as if they are in the university or they are university student leaders. They have forgotten that they command the respect of counties. The behavior of Gerard is the behavior of a village boy who is learning how to seduce a girl. The talk is like a seducing. This is a serious consequence of Kericho with brains in Kericho. Very organized Kericho brains. People are very well learned from Kericho. And then you have a juvenile masquerading as on Twitter as an office messenger. There is not supposed to have even got this seat. But Ruto just wrote him, gave him the seat. Look at the statements he was writing. Can let our media fraternity bring the statement of Senator Cheriot. From yesterday, he was writing saying, we shall steal the mess and run away with it. What is the life that you are doing?
But hypothetically, Doctor, what if they refuse to, because from what we saw there, a lot of them who stood there said, we will not continue until our colleagues are presented here.
Miriam, how many of them are they?
For the ones who were able to stand and
remember
talk.
The people who wanted the motion are also there. You think all of them will refuse? You know what the quorum of the Senate should be? The quorum needs only on the 30-something. I think 25.
But the voting requires 3/4.
No, the voting, yes. Even the presence of the quorum, for the quorum to conduct business, and the speaker to put the motion, the nays and the majority of those who are in parliament.
Yes.
Yes.
What happens if you don't come to work?
This is different, no?
Look at that. Read it. Stephen put on what Gerard was trying, Miriam. And let me thank you very much, production. He said, Aaron Gerard, the senator of Kericho, I need your help on Monday. Just give me cover. If they adjourn unnecessarily and ceremoniously, I will grab the mess. We shall install a temporary speaker and pass a formula for Kenya. He was writing to Senator Ledama Olokina. And then he said it is really sickening that we can't have an independent parliament in the 21st century in Kenya. The leadership has failed, and soon when they are unable to get their whatever. So this is a man who was elected to represent Kericho. Is now planning to steal a mess in the Senate. Look, this is all goes back, Miriam, to the politics of Machiavelli. Machiavellian politics, I told you. Read the book, Nikolai Machiavelli, The Prince. A man who wanted to grab power from his emperor. You know the man in Kenya who wants to grab power from his boss. He has been undermining his boss. He has been doing things at night against his boss. Some of us are hated because we speak out the truth. Let the truth set us free. I don't have anything wrong against the President Ruto. But one thing that makes my heart not like him about his behavior of undermining his friend who has only 2 years left. 2 years and some days left in office. He didn't fulfill the legacy. I have a bone to crack. Both of these guys went through a lot of terrible situations. But for the president to be everything, even this formula, Miriam, this formula would have been finished. It was very simple. But it is the deputy president who has complicated everything. He has told this Murkomen, don't give up, divide everybody. And the money is being paid. You know, some of these senators cannot buy you even a meal. But they have money. It's free money. The more they make this argument, the more money is poured. I told you I had a senator who had a strong room in a hotel, one hotel in town. And one day, the security of that hotel, I asked them to tell me what that man opens in that hotel goes to do what. We went there with the chief security officer. My God, what I saw there, Miriam, what I saw in the safe lockers, I cannot believe it. I told you if Wabukala worked with Pingo, he can arrest so many people.
And before Bukala arrests them, this matter, when you hear our senators debating this revenue allocation, of course, we all agree it has taken a very dangerous political turn. And if not handled very, very carefully, in fact, during the debate earlier this morning, one of them, I think, was it Orengo, who said it should be done in a give and take way, which I think is the right term which you should have been using instead of others are losing and others are gaining. I think that is a more convincing argument, give and take. You will have to give some and have to take some. I think that is perhaps a bit more more better compared to you will lose and then the others will be losers and the others will be gaining from your loss. But should it not handle very carefully this debate that is now going on in Senate that has completely taken a different turn from what actually they should be doing, which is debating on the revenue allocation formula? Does it have the potential to further divide this country if not handled very carefully from the sentiments we've been hearing from our leaders there? Prof.
Me?
Professor. Professor is not present. Yes. Yes, go ahead, Professor. All right, I think
get it. It is only politics. It is only politics which is being played at the Senate. There is nothing to do with the formula. The formula is so fair. Let me tell you, if you insist that you want to continue giving money, for how long are you going to give this? The architect of the Constitution 2010 Constitution were very clear, say the Commission for Revenue Allocation will come with the formula. Article 203 have been marginalized. We come with the equalization fund, which will take for 20 years. The Constitution has given us the way out, but people want to do politics. Someone want to undermine his boss. How comes? Let me tell you. Sometimes Kangata speaks the truth, and the truth and nothing the truth alone.
okay, we seem to be having a bit of a...
What is the perception? And we need to speak the truth this one. The threat you have against Kikuyus, and it cannot be allowed, Miriam. That's why you can see even counties where people are getting money for their people. They want to frustrate. Let them frustrate. You never know. The tree you are sitting on, don't cut it. You will come down. That 2022, it will come. If God gives you an opportunity to become the president, and God forbid, you will see how you will correct this. Money is being given to go and serve people. Give them health facilities, give them hospitals, give them schools, give them roads. Not we don't give to the animals. The Constitution as the, if I were a member of parliament, now I wish some of them they come for me. I draft for them the private motions so that we operationalize Article 2 or 3 of the Kenyan Constitution. We come with the concession funds and we finish all these things. And in fact, it's huge money. It's about 2% of the budget. It's huge money. And they are not seeing that. They are
all right. We apologize. We seem to be having a bit of a problem with the reception.
How many counties have been in politics?
All right, Prof, we seem to be having a problem with the reception there. Let me just move to Doctor. Doctor, as we've seen, this process has completely taken a political turn. They are not even discussing what they're supposed to be discussing.
There's nothing we can do to bring the people of Kenya.
Okay.
All right, Doc. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Put
So
it on audio.
Yes. Yes. So how would you advise the president to get a hold of this process? I know it's now in the Senate, but if not carefully checked, does it have a potential to further divide this country to lines that might not...
No, Miriam, as we speak right now, it is the counties are suffering. These young men want to bring a coup, a regime change, so that people in the counties can rise up and demand, come to the streets, because the services down in the counties, the disease COVID-19, we are at crossroads, Miriam. The world is at crossroads. We postponed that topic for tomorrow. It is gonna be a big fireworks tomorrow. We are at crossroads. Everything that you suggest is this side doesn't want. You suggest this, that one doesn't want. Americans suggest this, the French side refuse. South Africans bring this, we are at crossroads. And the counties are at crossroads. The people down there in all counties need money. They need to pay. There are some people who have not been paid their salary from June up to now. The situation is becoming unmanageable. So the more you postpone the debate, the treasury, the exchequer cannot release the funds. So where are we going now? You are bringing insurgents. You are bringing a state of despondence. You are making the president's name to be hated. That's what Machiavelli wants. And you know the Machiavelli man. Why should I talk and talk and talk? I've talked, I've been hated. Even if I try to clean myself to help these guys, people don't listen. I'll only retire to write my 2 books of the legacy trade and hand them over to Kenya. And that's it. My dear, I've talked, I've done everything. All the senators making noise up there. They supply masks, hot air, empty masks. Me, I don't, there's one thing I cannot do in this country. You never find my name in a tender. Because the tender brings you police near your door. The people who went to report about their friends are the losers of the tenders. But had they won, there would be no. If the NTV was a very good organization, would have not used a man with 20 identity cards to be the main lead. To be the main lead telling you, he saw the roads go to Tanzania. He saw this, he saw that. Use credible evidence. We are not saying there is no theft. Because the minister himself said there is a theft.
Yes.
There are cartels up there who stole money. We know it. But now, if you are looking for that money, use a credible source. Your story will sell like a hot cake. This story has brought the problem we see. The senators are turning this political. They want to play politics, to delay tactics. The masses get annoyed. They have even made flags. They have drawn. They were somewhere sewing Kenyan shirts. They were seen in one of the tailors in town over the weekend who's sewing thousands of shirts in Kenyan flags. Be careful. Remember Murkomen worked with George Soros. Remember Murkomen was OTP witness number 500 something. I don't want to finish there. Remember Reinberg. This is just a converted Paul to Saul, or Saul to Paul, who is now pretending to be a real Democrat who wanted Ruto to be jailed for life.
Amen.
Ukweli izungumizwe. Those 2 men, the Senator of Nandi, the governor of Nandi and the Murkomen were with ICC witnesses. They wrote very dangerous reports. Ruto should focus on those, call those deep state, because at that time they were American deep state. But the deputy president has forgotten there is something called darker state. Darker state. Today, let me tell you what the darker state is. It's beyond the deeper state. The darker state does not talk. Neither does it smile. It only works on capital. Chunga hiyo. Darker state. Mchunga kabisa. Stop talking about a state. Oh, we have a state. What? There is no deeper state. The people who wanted him fixed are Murkomen and the son. They were witnesses. I know their numbers. I have their evidence. Because now ICC has become public. We shall know who the witnesses are. So don't blame other people when the people who wanted to finish you are within it. We are the ones you are feeding the money. We have not said there's no corruption. It is too much. You can eat, but you can't eat COVID money. Surely. More so not only COVID money.
Donation.
A Chinese who has actually donated you something. Kweli. Kweli, my friends in Kenya, kweli. Kweli, Jamen. Kweli, even if you want money, you have to build apartments. You know, surprisingly, every Kenyan, hey, I don't know why God bewitched you on apartments. Every Kenyan you find, Daktari is saying, I'm going to build apartments. Aye. And these apartments, kila mtu, even a woman, before you settle down with her, she said, that's why I ran away very fast. You know, apartment. The Kenyans want apartments. Sure. This money, you've got it. You even sell masks for free.
It's a shame. On that donation from Jack,
very big shame for. And in fact, let's wait for EACC
to finish the investigations. Yeah.
To finish investigations, bring out the names of those.
And Doctor, through that investigative piece yesterday, of course, there are questions being raised on the lead, source, but also there are also other facts there that we cannot just overlook. And what I heard is that some of these donations were sold in Tanzania where there's no COVID. In Tanzania, there's no COVID.
When it comes to Tanzania, why do you take Tanzania does not need the masks? Why did you take, Uganda, that some were sold in Uganda. I'm going to find out the person who bought these things inUganda. By tomorrow medium, I would have known the company that bought.
Perhaps that person in Tanzania had anticipated a rise in COVID-19 before President Magufuli declared there's no COVID. So maybe he'd made a loss. I don't know if he sold it back to us. I have no way to
No. We shall find out with Uganda. We deliver the news tomorrow. And in fact, I will make a telephone call to Lieutenant Colonel Nakelema in the State House to arrest the buyer, to bring him more chaos. Don't worry. Don't worry on that one. There's a woman there, a suicide woman there. When she comes for you, you run and fall in Lake Victoria.
But the good thing is President Uhuru Kenyatta, promised that these investigations will be made and, the findings will be made public because we know...
But the investigation started with the senator.
Yes.
On the committee of, ad hoc committee of COVID-19. Why is Sakaja not talking today? Did you hear Sakaja talk?
No. Miriam.
He did not even sleep at home.
Miriam, we did say...
They have been looking for Sakaja on COVID-19, not on drink and drive or drinking. COVID and 19, I am now telling you.
COVID and 19, what is that?
COVID-19 money, he took the cash from Kemsa and never supplied even hot air. He's ballooned the hair.
So
he did it.
I'm sure ESCC through that
You think the general manager and the procurement manager and the other one, they have been suspended for nothing.
There had to be the reasons.
The money.
There had to be grounds, yes, from Kemps, and they have been suspended. So that's why
they released money to people.
Yes.
And because people came and said they need a deposit. This is a hard condition. The bank is not giving us money. We need a deposit. People gave 60%.
What?
60%, yes.
Against procurement rules.
I've seen the papers. I am shocked. I am shocked. The papers came to me from a source.
Me personally, I'm very disappointed.
You know what? I've come to this television here today because I just love to be here. I would have gone to my bed to sleep.
I'm disappointed Kenyan, I suppose, Professor.
Miriam, we did say here on Friday that those who have invested money, and I was very happy with the board for KEMSA for taking that action.
Yeah.
And believe me or not, as far as this will be there, this is not going to be complex because this is a very straightforward scandal. It has not taken so many years. They are templated and they have been caught. And what Dr. Masanga is saying, don't rule it out. These are the people who lost the tender. They know how the money has been given, and these people became very bitter, and they're the one who are spilling beans. Be it as it may, Miriam, it is very unfortunate that the corruption in this country is becoming complex. They want to freeze this country with any little opportunities they get. And this one case which I want people to be, investigation to be done, people be arrested, and take only 2 or 1 month and then people go in. When the memory is still fresh.
Thank you very much, Prof.
You have a breaking news?
Prof, I've just opened my book.
Okay.
Which book is that?
This one. This one. It helps me when I'm in a crisis.
The Bible?
Doctor, I didn't know you're in a crisis. Are you in a crisis right now? Do you need some help?
No, yes. This one.
We're all in a
you
crisis.
see how old it is?
Oh, yes.
Now,
the Bible is...
No, wait. It is sealed like this. Miriam, look here. It is sealed. Miriam, have you seen? I am just opening it. Viewers, this is the page I'm reading. No, that one has changed. Now, the words on this page are the words that are happening today. And it is telling me, Jeremiah 31:34. Jeremiah 31, verse 4. Your wound will be incurable. Your injury beyond healing. There is no one to plead your cause, to remedy for your sore. No healing for you. All your allies have forgotten you. They care nothing for you. I have stuck for you. I'm struck you. I have struck you as it would be cruel, because you are guilty. And that is honestly, I don't know the words here now, and you go further. That all who devour you will be devoured. Thank you. That's the way to read the Bible, and you will find out what God is talking about you. Thank you very much. Jeremiah 30, verse 15 and 13, 14, 15. You will find the reading. Finally, this is Micah book, pocket money. I call it pocket money. When I am in trouble, I consult it. Now I am at crossroads. God help me.
And Professor just indicated that he's about to step out. Professor, we are coming to the end of the show. Could you perhaps give us your final word, and then Doctor will give us the final word, even as we wait for Senate to convene later. They say at 2:30.
Miriam, now that Dr. Masanga came up with the word of God, the Bible. The Bible is the inspired word of God. It is through the Bible that God speaks to us. Let us read the Bible and hear God speak to us. My prayer is that we pray for this country. We pray for our president, or is not well. Some demons have come from nowhere and we cannot understand. When he is committed to build a legacy together with the Prime Minister of a united Kenya, the devil is not happy. And I would also urge the anti-corruption and the Department of Criminal Investigation to do quick investigation for those people who have been alleged to have stolen money from this country, so that they are brought to book. Miriam, no Kenyans should die because our leaders have become very responsible. This is Kenya for all of us. Nobody will rebuild Kenya. Sometimes I wonder how sometimes Dr. Masanga becomes very passionate to speak about Kenya. And when ourselves, we are not very, very passionate about our country. The Senate, they should be able to run from elder politicians, like you saw how Senator Bugicho was speaking. You saw how Orengo was speaking. Sometimes back, Orengo used to tell them that the revolution eats on their own children, and they could not see. Time has come when they cannot be able to perform their work of respecting the president, of coordinating, and they are the ruling party, because they are coming with Machiavellian kind of politics and undermining your force, your boss. This is not going to take us anywhere. No, it's not going to make Kenya move forward and become great. I pray that when the senators meet at 2, that they are going to discuss sober and have a debate. We have a formula to take this country forward, Miriam. Is my prayer in Jesus' name.
All right, thank you so much there, Professor Jared Onyari. Doctor, end it for us.
Thank you very much, viewers. You have been very patient, and very many of you. I believe today is a great day for us. Today is also a great day for the people of Kenya. Today is a great day for those who believe in the rule of law, that once the police knock on your door, answer the knock, answer their call. Let them tell you who they are, where they are taking you, why they are taking you. Let them give you a chance to tell your wife, your next of kin, where you will go. But once you start an argument with them, you lose it out. Point number 2, on the allocation of resources, you cannot expect from 2.5 million people who turn up at 4 a.m. voting for a president, Senate, and the rest of the people to have half a loaf. They voted for a full loaf, and the services are needed in Kiambu. Services are needed in Nakuru, where the population is huge. Then why do we have the money? Why do we have the Ministry of Planning? Why does the Ministry of Planning plan for who? For dogs, for monkeys, for baboons, for trees, for ocean? Does the Ministry of Planning plan for who? God created all of us, not equal. But we are equal before his eyes. That is when we have left one stage to the other. We haven't left yet. That's why people buy a Mercedes, and others buy a Range Rover, others buy a cartoon, others buy a bicycle. Others have mukokoteni. It is not my problem. Neither is it your problem. But it's the problem of balancing the society. That's what we need, to balance the needs of the society. What does an ordinary person in Lodwar, in Turkana want? He wants a tent and a hot water. He doesn't want a 5-star hotel in Lodwar. Because how many tourists will be going to Lodwar? But gradually you can grow Rodwa to a 3-star hotel where you get a 3-star lodge where people will go and have their services. That is what we call balancing. Equity did not start today. Equity started with God. God gave money, created Eve, Adam, and sent a lady. The lady created unbalanced equity. Instead of sitting and waiting for the husband to come back before the chaplain goes, Eve went and cracked a fruit.
Because Adam was not a good leader.
From that day, the world has never been the same. The world has never been the same. One of the dangers of this world, I hate to say this, are women.
No, that's it.
No, the danger is in bringing.
I can't allow that because I promote.
In a crisis, I'm not saying they are
gender. SDG number 5, gender equality.
The change in a crisis, please. Okay. Bring crisis. Every conflict in the world that has come from Ferdinand Marcos, from Victoria, from King William, it has been because of a woman. Every war that has been fought, Idi Amin was eyeing Mama Miriam. We had a war in Uganda. Mutesa Kabaka was together, they used to go out with Robot to look for ladies. They started fighting on who is taking the best one. We had a war in Uganda. Tuambiane ukweli. In Uganda today, we still have a big war because of a woman. So it was that time that Eve ate the fruit. That fruit became sweet and God got annoyed. There is no equity. Don't expect equity. Expect balance. Balance the world. You are not going to be equal. Women can say we are together. We also hold the ministry. But you will find a woman again asking for help from a man. Yes.
So do men.
No. Men ask for help in a different way. But the women had asked openly. He said, David, hold the table is falling. Yes. There are things that Miriam can do, which I cannot do. But there are things that Miriam wants to do, which I have to help.
We complement each other.
Yes. The only thing that I do is I miss her. That's the truth. I'm very far away from her. And that is one of the mistakes that COVID-19 brought. Separation of the loved ones, the hated ones. Yes. She might be hating me, but I wanted to be closer to her so that we read the news together. I've been deprived. That calamity has come. There's calmness. Being together with a lady reading news.
We shall overcome.
It has separated me. It has caused me uncoordinated troop movement in my blood system.
Let's get back to Senate. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Or Eve.
I have no more words. These are words that pain me. And if I don't say them out, I will get depression.
Oh, yes, you are depriving yourself. It's good.
Yes.
Professor, why are you encouraging?
I've resorted to this.
Professor, you're not helping.
And I always read this.
Miriam, in COVID-19, the only thing you can do is deprive yourself. If the way he's talking, is the breathing of himself, and they will be okay.
Yes.
Professor.
I'm left alone with my last man called Moses. That's it. Life is not the same.
That book, when you read it, you'll be just fine.
Life has been injured
You'll be
by
just fine.
COVID-19. So let this topic come tomorrow. We need that topic tomorrow on diplomatic leaks.
Okay.
It's COVID-19 has it brought crossroads. The world is at crossroads.
Yes.
I am very far from my family. Isn't it a crossroad?
Now you're talking. Yes.
I'm very far from my studio in Nairobi. Isn't it a crossroad?
Yes.
Look at the suffering I get, the warmth that I get when I'm in the studio.
Oh my God.
It has disappeared. I'm now in depression. I'm about to go to depression. It's not a disease. It is not it is the disease of depression. Lack of seeing media on a daily basis. Yes, there are people dying because they don't see their loved ones. This is what no, wait. Before you go, Professor, Mutahi Kagwe should introduce this topic for us to talk to Kenyans. Kenyans are depressed. Life is not going normal. You have your wife in the house. You have to sleep facing that way. A wife faces there, you face there. You sleep like a Mount Elgon separating Kenya and Uganda. This is the disease killing people now. You can't speak to your children, you can't kiss your children, you can't hug your friend. It's a disease. That's why Mutahi Kagwe should bring a professor of depression, not to bring this woman who reads an essay every morning.
But something else, I think that I maybe love with these new measures from COVID-19, because I don't like really shaking hands, especially with people who don't wash their hands. So I think I love that part. So now I don't have to explain why I don't want to shake your hand.
Professor, what was I telling you?
We have to end.
We have to end.
Now I don't have to explain why I will not be shaking hands. So.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Prof. Bye-bye, Doctor.
Yeah, you see,
Thank you.
I told you, there is a lot that Miriam is dying there with bitterness.
Oh, no, that will not kill me. I just wait.
You're also dying because
I'm not. I have, my peace is intact. I'm fantastic.
So now you are dying with bitterness.
I'm not dying with bitterness. I am happy that I don't have to shake hands now, because people are very dirty sometimes.
You know very well, I'm one of the cleanest people.
I did not say you.
Yes. I'm not like a Murkomen.
Let's leave Murkomen has gone to see his colleagues right now, so let's leave Murkomen.
And Murkomen does not want his people to have anything. Anyway,
Murkomen will be back with a report.
Viewers.
Yes.
Thank you very much for watching us. We shall cross over later at 2:30. I think, Miriam, you will have to postpone your...
Yes. We will be watching that. Because
the two shows. Tomorrow, they begin very early in the morning. And I wish you good luck, all of you. We are down there this way in depression.
We'll be praying for him. I'm not depressed. So thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow.
You will also have it. I will pray.
I don't.
The depression goes back again.
I don't have depression. I don't keep things in my heart. I don't.
But you like my new outfit.
We shall see you tomorrow.
No, can you say something about the outfit?
No.
You want me to put on one more tie?
Let's pray for dog. Let's pray for dog.
Bless what?
Let's pray for dog.
Bless the door. Thank you very much, Miriam. Thanks. God bless you.
All right, bye-bye.
peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.